Hello, Comic Crusaders, and welcome back. Today marks a significant moment as we bring you the final episode of our deep dive into Marvel November of 2003 arc. This is it, the grand conclusion, the culmination of an extensive month-long journey through some of the most impactful game changers that absolutely rocked that period. We've witnessed pivotal moments and narratives that truly defined November of 2003 in the comic book world. From the world-altering action of the Ultimates 12, with its intricate narrative turns and high-stakes confrontations, to the gritty character-defining debut of NYX-1, which notably introduced X-23 to the mutant landscape. Prepare yourself for the final segment of our November 2003 journey as we look at how these remarkable narratives played out, leaving their lasting impact on the comic tapestry. Consider this your perfect lead-in, the final stop before we plunge into the Ordered Omnibus Does December. This episode is definitely one you won't want to miss. New Mutants, Volume 2, Issue 5. We kick things off in the Big Apple with a seriously sinister Donald Pierce and his Reavers laying out their messed up plan. They're going to snatch mutant families to lure mutants themselves out into the open. Keep an eye on two of these Reavers, Josh and Duncan. They're going to be important later. Meanwhile, in a New York City hotel, Walter Barrett is being super insistent about moving. Why? Because he wants to avoid running into his daughter, Sophia, aka Mutant Wind Dancer. Awkward family vibes already. Over at Xavier's Institute, Professor X is making moves, offering Karma a teaching gig. Smart move, Professor. We also see David, aka Prodigy, not getting his butt kicked in his self-defense class taught by Wolverine. That's because his power is to telepathically absorb the knowledge and skills of other people when he's near them. After class, David gets invited to lunch with Sophia, Laurie, and Kevin. Then Shian and Danny join the party. Danny discusses recruiting a new student in New York, and the New Mutants join in because, how could that possibly go wrong? But things are about to go really weird for the next 5 or so panels. Cut to a scene of Sophia, David, Kevin, and Laurie, the 4 X-teens, ending up in the same hotel Sophia's dad was just snatched from. Convenient, right? They get a note saying that Sophia's dad is totally chill with them, meeting up with him in the hotel parking garage. Because the red flags, they are a-waving, people. It's obviously a trap. And surprise, surprise, when the X-teens reach the garage, they realize they walked right into an ambush set by the Reavers. Sophia unleashes her wind powers, taking down 2 Reavers, and as you guessed it, Josh and Duncan, injuring Duncan in the process. Now the 4 students are on a rescue mission to save Walter and Derek. Meanwhile, back at the Reaver camp, Josh accidentally heals Duncan, who does not react well. But let's be honest, Josh handles it less well. And as Josh tries to bail, he runs smack dab into Donald Pierce. And then, bam, Laurie gets stabbed from behind by Pierce. End of issue. Cliffhanger City. Things just got dark. Ultimate 6, Issue 2. All right, things are about to go from bad to absolutely bonkers in this Ultimate prison break. So, Norman Osborn? Not having a good day. He just found out that he's lost everything on the outside. No mansion, no money, no shred of that oh-so-important Osborn reputation. Dude totally snaps and is about to go full Green Goblin meltdown when bam, Hank Pym hulks out. Or would that be Giant Man's out? And stops Osborn from causing immediate chaos. Crisis averted. For now. Meanwhile, Otto Octavius, the Armless Wonder, is playing a different game. He tells the shield guards that he wants to benevolently share his brain with them. They escort him to a lab, and wouldn't you know it, they've got his old tentacle arms on display. Otto has a revelation. He might be a mutant. He figures out that the Oz explosion didn't just mess with Norman, it might have juiced up his latent abilities as well, giving him the power to control metal arms with his mind. And wouldn't you know it, he's right. In a shocking and brutal turn, Otto mentally commands his arms to impale the guards. And not just his guards, but poor Hank Pym gets caught in the crossfire too. Talk about a demonstration of power. Meanwhile, chaos erupts. The prison's power grid goes down, plunging everything in the darkness. It's escape time. Osborn, Electro, Sandman, and presumably Kraven all transform into the supervillain personas, give Otto a quick thanks for the Shankfest, and make a break for it. But the real kicker is, as they're making their getaway, Norman Osborn drops a bombshell. The 6th member of the Sinister Squad? None other than Peter Parker. What? How did that happen? What's Osborn got planned for Spider-Man? This prison break just got a whole lot more personal and a whole lot more dangerous. The Ultimates are in for a world of hate. NYX, Volume 1, Issue 1. We're introduced to Kid Nixon's world, starting with her family, her mom, twin little brothers, and older brother Ty. Young Kidden, around the age of 4, witnessed her father's death as he shielded her body from a barrage of bullets. Dark origin story, right? Fast forward to teenage Kidden, spending her school nights out with her friend Kara, hitting the dance scene and getting fried. Her mom's still single, doing her best to raise all 4 kids on her own, and Kidden's not above swiping cigarettes from her mom or boosting them from the local store. Kidden's living in an inner-city neighborhood full of gangsters and drug dealers. She manages to get on the bad side of a local gangster at the school named Hector. He throws a handball that hits her while she's chilling with Kara before class. He slaps her. She tears out his golden earring. He's sent to the nurse's office, but she goes to the guidance counselor. Later that day, Kara warns Kidden that the gang is out for revenge as soon as the bell rings. Kidden and Kara get cornered in the hall after class. Kara gets a serious beatdown from the gangster sisters, while Hector goes after Kidden. And that's when things get really crazy, because Kidden is overcome with a berserker's rage, and her mutant power finally shows itself. Suddenly, she's the only one moving. Everyone else, including her friend and the teachers, are frozen, like as in time. She even tries talking to Kara, but no response. Then she touches the gangster's arm and snaps like a twig. Reality snaps back into focus and the guy screams. Kidden is left standing there totally clueless about what just happened. Talk about a power surge. Ultmate X-Men, Issue 37. All right, let's dive into this chaotic 4-part team-up with Wolverine, Spider-Man, and the Daredevil, because things are about to get seriously sharp and webby. Hey, I'm trying here. And this one's going to require a little background, so here goes. So picture this, Wolverine just trying to grab a little bite in the Brooklyn diner when bam, he's caught up in a hail of bullets. Classic Wolverine luck, right? Now, Logan needs a place to lay low and heal, and one of the spots that pops into his head? The Parker residence. Yeah, Spider-Man's humble abode. Can you imagine Peter and Mary Jane's surprise when they find a grumpy old mutant with claws chilling in their attic? Talk about unexpected house guests. It takes a couple of days for Wolverine to patch himself up, but just as he's about to peace out, guess who shows up? The same shady vans that filled him with lead in the first place. They're back for round 2. In diaper vans. Logan tries to make a quick getaway, but things go from bad to worse when a rocket locks onto him. Talk about overkill. And at the last second, Wolverine pulls a classic Wolverine move, claws himself onto the missile, and yeets himself off the back before it explodes, leaving him stranded in the gritty streets of Hell's Kitchen. Spider-Man, ever the hero, swings towards the explosion looking for his clawed buddy, but Wolverine, playing it stealthy, ditches the web slinger to lick his wounds in the shadows. And just as Logan's catching his breath, bam, he's confronted by the man without fear himself, Daredevil. Matt Murdock's senses are on point, and even though Wolverine smells like a wet dog, come on, Logan's having a rough night, okay? Daredevil figures out he's not the one causing the trouble in his neighborhood. Before he can force a proper chat, those creepy diaper vans roll up again. These guys are persistent, and Daredevil vanishes before Wolverine can even ask for backup, leaving Logan to face the armored threat solo. Then things escalate big time. A woman named Tara steps out, rocking what looks like kind of like Hellfire Club armor, and fires not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 adamantium bullets into Wolverine's head. Ow! But before she can deliver the final blow, Daredevil swoops back in, ready to defend his turf. Wolverine's down but not out as Daredevil tries to hold off the intruders, but Tara and her crew are locked and loaded. Just when things look dire, bam! Spider-Man swings back into the fray, ready to be the hero again. An angry Daredevil yells at Spidey, telling him he's putting himself in danger. And as the bad guys open fire, Spider-Man webs Wolverine, yanks him to safety. Daredevil warns Spidey that the van's about to blow. While they catch their breaths, Daredevil fills Wolverine and Tara's next move. Wolverine, never one to back down, charges onto the rooftop to confront Tara and demand some answers. But Tara's not talking. Makes a quick escape as the helicopter opens fire on our heroes. And Wolverine's left with Spider-Man as Daredevil tends to the wounded. As Logan explains this messed up situation to the web-slinger, Spidey comes clean. He went ahead and called the X-Men in for backup. Talk about escalating quickly. This unlikely team-up just got a whole lot more mutant-y. And this isn't the end of the story. This is issue number 37, which is part 4. But if you look at issue number 38, it is also part 4. Avengers, Volume 2, 3rd Series, number 71. All right, true believers, let's break down Avengers number 71. Truly a filler issue. The spotlight is on Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym and finally taking their first ever vacation out in Las Vegas. Things open up with Janet and Hank having powered relations. In a completely different scene in another hotel room, the villain Whirlwind is shown violently beating a prostitute he's dressed up as the Wasp. Following the assault, he throws her out the window to her death. Oh, jeez. Later, while walking in the city, Hank proposes marriage to Jan. She refuses, and they engage in yet another conversation about their complex and troubled relationship history. This is when Whirlwind attacks. Thank God. He quickly incapacitates Hank and starts to have his way with Janet. A now giant-sized naked Hank recovers and attacks the Whirlwind. The fight concludes when an angry Wasp takes down and knocks out the villain. The issue ends with Janet and Hank kissing. Boring. Captain Marvel, Volume 4, Issue 15. Okay, so some quick backstory. Captain Marvel, Genis, is the cosmic kid of the OG Captain Marvel and Elysius from Titan. Basically, they used dead Captain Marvel's DNA to make him. Elysius is gone now. Genis gets some very serious psychic powers, but guess what? He can't handle them. Universe goes boom, gets remade, but hey, this time Mom's still alive. Now Genis's new hobby is messing around with space rifts and causing a time freak out. This episode kicks off with the Galactic Council having a major "what do we do about Marvel?" meeting, mostly just a bunch of space races arguing. Then, bam, Marvel pops up on screen like, "I'm gonna kill you all," and poof, he's gone again. Cue every race scrambling their fleets and still bickering because, space politics. Quick detour to the multiverse and things get dark. Marvel's been slowly mind-controlling Rick Jones and straight up orders him to jump off a balcony. Oof. Back to Lilandra, who is not thrilled about having a team-up with the Kree and the Skrull. Awkward alliances, Then Captain Marvel's back to clowning the council some more. They fire everything they've got at him, and guess what? Nothing. Marvel then drops a bombshell. In the future, these guys are going to form a super alliance that conquers the galaxy in a bloody mess and becomes totally corrupt. The Golgotha. Genis has decided he's got to wipe out the entire council just to stop that from ever happening. He gives them 1 week. And just when things couldn't get any crazier, a Titan ship shows up. And who's on it? Elysius, Genis's mom. She's there to put an end to this madness. Cosmic family drama, anybody? Venom 2003 Mini, Issue 6. All right, so the mysterious suit is dragging an unconscious Patricia Robertson through Alaska. She wakes up furious, demanding answers, and he tells her they're 70 miles out, tracking a symbiote, and they gotta move. She tries to call for help, but he's not letting that happen. He knocks her out again and keeps going, leaving a trail of gruesome cocooned animals behind. In the woods, the suit finds dead animals encased in symbiote goo. He makes a call saying the symbiote's heading for Voici before dawn. Meanwhile, in Voici, Clem shows up for poker night at Ori's. Oblivious to the nearby infected Raven, Ori's acting super weird and reveals his friends are all dead and consumed by the black goo, then transforms into a monster. Clem gets caught infected and declares it's a beautiful evening to paint the town red as he heads for Voici. At Bob's bar in Voici, Wolverine is just chilling. 2 identical women in purple bodysuits show up asking about the town. Logan, being Logan, immediately knows that they're not from around here. Who does he think he is? Layla Millar? And with that symbiote closing in and Wolverine in the mix, things are about to get real wild. Avengers Volume 2, 3rd Series, number 72. All right, Buckle up, my detailed detectives, because after the wild ride of the Red Zone, where She-Hulk hulked out after being infected by the Red Cloud and was taken down, well, Avengers 72 throws us into a brand new mystery. She-Hulk's gone AWOL. Jennifer Walters has vanished from the compound, and it's not a casual Tuesday afternoon stroll. She's on a personal mission fueled by the mistaken belief that her cousin, good old Bruce Banner, is hanging out in Bone, Idaho. Little does Jennifer know that Bruce is in the Big Apple, just wrapping up a rumble with Crusher Creel and stepping into his own split decisions drama. Talk about cosmic misunderstanding. So, the Avengers, naturally worried about their green-skinned powerhouse and the potential for another Savage She-Hulk incident, play detective and track Jen all the way down to a diner in Bone, Idaho. Their plan? Tread lightly and send in the Master of the Mystic Arcs. Wrong team. They send in the Master of Mind Manipulation. Well, no. Well, they send in Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, hoping a little heart-to-heart can clear things up. But, Wanda's good intentions go a little sideways. Her attempt to talk to Jennifer ends up feeling a bit forceful, shall we say? Next thing you know, Jennifer's not going anywhere, and that's when the real kicker drops. Jennifer isn't just bummed about being the Savage She-Hulk. She's genuinely terrified of hurting her friends if she loses control again. Here's the tragic twist. Unlike her cousin Bruce, whose transformations are fueled mostly by anger, Jennifer's She-Hulk trigger is fear. And guess what Jennifer Walters hates most? Being afraid. So the Avengers attempt to help, spearheaded by Wanda's slightly heavy-handed approach, might have just put Jennifer in the exact emotional state that could bring about the very thing they tried to prevent. The search has found her, but have they inadvertently lit the fuse? Litten? That's not a good word. Talk about a tense reunion. The Ultimates, Issue 12. All right, buckle up, true believers, because this is about to get ultimately chaotic. So picture this. Thor and Iron Man are tearing up the skies above Phoenix, blasting every alien craft they can lock onto. It's a full-on aerial demolition derby. Down below, Herr Kleiser gets the go-ahead for his comms guy to throw down with Captain America. Cap, ever the dramatic entrance maker, literally dives a jet straight into Kleiser, bailing out at the last second like a total boss before the whole thing explodes in a massive fireball. But no time for cool poses. Kleiser immediately pounces on Cap, and they start trading blows. Cap gets the early advantage, slicing Kleiser's face with his own shield. Kleiser retaliates with a flurry of punches, finally breaking free. Then Kleiser starts his villain monologue, which, let's be honest, is just annoying Cap. Cap loses his focus, just trying to land a solid hit. But mistake, because Kleiser gains the upper hand again, smashing Cap's head into the ground. Not good. Meanwhile, Hawkeye's doing his part, taking out the Chitauri soldiers from a Humvee, but suddenly, bam, his ride gets wrecked by a falling alien aircraft. Hawkeye's understandably ticked, yelling at Iron Man about the alien debris raining down, but Tony's like, dude, that's all Thor. Apparently, the God of Thunder is just swinging Mjolnir like a cosmic baseball bat, taking out everything in sight, friend or foe. Thor tells Iron Man to get low so that he can blast the whole squadron of alien ships at once. Boom! Down they go. Cut to Nick Fury watching Kleiser absolutely pummel Captain America with debris. Fury's not about to let his star-spangled soldier get taken down like that. He calls a shield invisibility sequence. And as Kleiser's laying the smackdown, Fury shoves his gun right next to Kleiser's eyeball, and boom! Down goes the bad guy. Or so they think. Kleiser gets right back up, sporting a massive hole in his head. This just heals. Then he turns his attention to Fury, laying a beatdown on the eye patch-wearing director. Speaking of big problems, a gigantic alien ship is plummeting towards Phoenix. I mean, we're talking total extinction level event-sized ship. But wait, Iron Man swoops in at the last second, flying under the massive ship, bringing it down in a controlled crash. Heroic! But Tony's power armor is completely drained, and his confidence is shattered. So as the U.S. Army soldiers help him out, Tony's having a full-on, I can't be Iron Man anymore, meltdown. And the soldier's simple question, well, if you can't, who will? Snaps Tony right back into reality like he can actually smell what the Rock is cooking. He spots a nearby streetlight, siphons some power to recharge, and then flies right back into the action. So he recharged the Iron Man armor off a 120-volt source. That's our Tony. Deep Underground Wasp and the Black Widow are on a stealth mission, taking out the Chitauri and trying to figure out how to stop the Doomsday Bomb. But there's a slight problem. The instructions are in alien hieroglyphs. Not exactly user-friendly. But back on the surface, Kleiser got Fury in a chokehold. He throws Fury aside and refocuses on Cap, telling him to just give up. But telling Captain America to surrender? That's like waving a red flag in front of a bull, which, come to think of it, is a really bad analogy as bulls are colorblind. Anyway, enraged, Captain America headbutts Kleiser and then smashes him in the face while grabbing his shield. He leans down on top of Kleiser, screaming, "Surrender!" And he stabs his shield right down into Kleiser's chest. Then, in a moment of pure Cap badassery, go ahead and read the quote, seriously. He pulls out his shield and walks away with a battered but not broken Nick Fury. Fury, never one to miss an opportunity, contacts a soldier in a helicopter with Bruce Banner aboard. Time for Plan A to become Plan B. The soldier starts wailing on Banner, hoping to trigger the Hulk transformation. But Banner's like, dude, I have got so much antidote in my system, I couldn't become the Hulk if you paid me $1 million. So Fury's got no time for this. Nothing. He orders the soldier to execute Plan C, tossing Banner out the helicopter. Talk about a rough landing. Will the Hulk show up? Will our heroes stop the alien invasion? This is the Ultimates, baby. Expect the unexpected. And just like that, lore keepers, we've reached the end of the Marvel of November of 2003 arc. What an incredible ride it's been, diving deep into the cosmic depths and monumental events that shaped this pivotal month. From the groundbreaking debut of NYX number 1 to the pivotal world-altering action of Ultimates number 12. It's clear that November of 2003 delivered some truly defining moments for comic book storytelling. We've seen cosmic entities clash, and the very fate of galaxies hanging in the balance, and witnessed the profound impacts of these narratives unfold right before our eyes. And thanks for sticking with us through every twist and turn of this intense comic book saga. And don't forget, next week we start December of 2003, and trust me, we're hitting the ground running. We'll be kicking off with some of the serious hitters like Web-Swinging Excellence and Ultimate Spider-Man number 47, and the chilling cosmic return of the Mad Titan himself, Thanos number 1. You won't want to miss it. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you've already unleashed your might upon that like button and verily subscribed. It helps out a big time and ensures you won't miss any of the Ordered Omnibus action. And here's the complete rundown of everything that will be tackled next week. Same ordered time, same Ordered Omnibus.